The team drafted Tetairoa McMillan in the first round, the rookie 11th in the league in receiving yards, but he admittedly has too many drops, and he's a pretty tough grader.
I mean, I think it's average, probably like a C+.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I definitely feel like I had a lot of missed opportunities out there. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, I feel like I'm a much better player than what I've been.
What would bring that up to an A?
Maybe win more games.
Love hearing that. Speaking of win more games, didn't see that last night from the Hornets. They were back to full strength with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller in the lineup, but an absolutely forgettable night against the Knicks. Charlotte just looked off all the way around in its 7th straight defeat. They lost by 28 and were eliminated from the NBA Cup. And even worse, it was at Spectrum Center, but sure sounded like Madison Square Garden.
I hate it. I hate it a lot. It happens when the Knicks come. It happens when the Lakers come. I hate it, but we didn't do anything to shut them up. So.
All right, Hornets host Chicago tomorrow night. Plenty of holiday college hoops to watch this week. The Charlotte 49ers on national TV in the ESPN Events Invitational against Illinois State. Brent Bradford, what a player he's been for Charlotte, but too many Thanksgiving turnovers for the 49ers, 14 of them. Charlotte loses by 10. They will play Richmond tomorrow. UNC and Michigan State in a good one. We'll have that at 11. And I think Hornets and Panthers fans, despite the ups and downs, have something to be thankful for. Yeah. It's those two rookies, Con Knippel for the Hornets and T-Mac for the Panthers. Tough self-grader there. I'd give him more than a C+ for sure.
Ka?
Yeah. Hey, wait till Sunday's game because I think the run game's going to make a comeback.
Just keep running the ball, man.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do, especially with that weather, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, the weather might force their hand on this one. Temperatures tomorrow, chilly. This is by far the coldest air of the season, but by Sunday, some rain and upper 40s for that game.
Thank you so much for joining us here for the News at 6.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here on WCNC. But plus, tonight we're going to give you a quick 8-minute recap of the local forecast in case you missed it. We'll start with the current temperatures here at 6:30 when we're doing this live. You see temperatures have cooled off quickly. That sunset tonight was at 5:12 p.m., so it's getting earlier and earlier. Now, you might think the winter solstice, which is coming up in December, we probably wish it was the summer solstice, but that's coming up in December, is the earliest sunset of the year. That's the shortest daylight of the year. That's the sunrise and sunset. In fact, the earliest sunset of the entire year in Charlotte is going to be coming up next week, the middle of next week, the 4th, 5th, and 6th of December. It'll be around 5:10, and we actually start to see it go the other direction as the sunrise becomes more of the play in those daylight hours. Now, tonight, it's already cold, as I mentioned. That sun going down, over an hour ago. That means low 30s in the mountains and 20s in parts. We're already colder in some spots than we were yesterday at this time. And you can see the change 24 hours ago. I mean, it's 20, 25 degrees colder in some locations, 27 in Concord. So it tells you that the temperature has changed dramatically. Today was very pleasant, by the way, pretty much close to average. I mean, a little bit below our high for this time of year, 55, but with full sunshine felt pretty good. 37 in the morning, as I mentioned. We might be below that before midnight, so we might have a new low. But that shows you how warm it's been recently, because now normal feels cold. But trust me, this was mild compared to what's heading our way over the next couple of days. It's all good news for the mountains, though. Beech Mountain right now, I want to show you this is a freeze frame, but they're making a ton of snow. They're going to open on Saturday. So Beech Mountain is scheduled to open for the season on Saturday. They should have some really good snow because they've been cranking it out since last night, making it all day today. They'll make it all day tomorrow. So by Saturday, they should have really good conditions. Appalachian Ski Mountain, for the first time, they've cranked up their snow guns. I haven't seen officially when they're going to open, but I would check with Sugar, even Hawks Nest Tubing, Hatley Point. I would check with Catalucci as well. I bet a lot of these places will be opening at some point over the holiday weekend to take advantage of the cold air, but also people with a lot of downtime and off of work. Tonight, we've got mostly clear skies, so it's pretty chilly out there. We've got a storm system kind of moving off the Atlantic coast, but behind it, that northwest flow, cold air spilling over the Great Lakes. Boy, you think it was cold down here. It's winter-like for Thanksgiving across the Great Lakes. Big-time lake effect snow going crazy up there right now. For us, we've got mostly clear skies. That's why things are radiating and cooling down so quickly tonight. So just to give you an idea how fast it's going to fall, again, we might fall faster than this in some neighborhoods. I think we'll easily be down into the mid and upper 20s by tomorrow morning. The coldest we've been this season so far, 29 and 31. Those are the only two freezes we've seen the entire fall. The next 2 nights will likely be well below that, with consecutive nights in the 20s. Your overnight lows, I get out of the way here, and you can see temperatures way down into the 20s. In fact, we could see some teens in the mountains. This might not even be the coldest night of the weekend. I think tomorrow night could be colder because we're not going to get as warm in the afternoon. Probably upper 40s, mid 40s in some spots. Doesn't crack the freezing mark in the mountains, which means a lot more snowmaking. But the only benefit tomorrow, full sunshine. So if you're out and about, at least the sun is out. And if you spend time in the sun, should feel a little bit better. Now, travel issues going into the holiday, we really didn't have many as far as weather's concerned. And also, more people travel between Tuesday and Wednesday and kind of spread out the travel. The biggest airline travel day, usually of the year, either one or two, is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And that's Sunday. And look what happens on Sunday. We've got a big storm system across the Midwest. So I'm just going to give you a heads up. If you're watching and you're traveling on Sunday by air, Chicago, O'Hare, Midway, maybe St. Louis, Madison, maybe Minneapolis, some of these Midwest airports might have some issues or delays. So definitely check ahead and just plan for some delays, just because the congestion alone will be an issue on Sunday. But we throw this big storm system going into the Great Lakes and the Midwest this weekend. We certainly could see some problems. Now for us, we're going to see a storm system on Sunday. So Panthers fans and everyone heading uptown for that game on Sunday, start looking for your winter gear right now, because not only is it going to be cold, but we could have some precipitation. Now I'm not looking at wintry precip for us, though if a sleet pellet fell in the morning, I wouldn't be shocked. That's a miserable cold rain that will be around for the beginning, maybe middle of the game against the Rams. It won't be a downpour, but it's going to be pretty cold. So we'll throw the temperatures and the Futurecast on here. So this is Sunday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, probably sleeping. The pink is a mix, and notice temperatures are above freezing, so no issues on the roads, but some sleet pellets mixing in. Now in the mountains, we definitely are going to see some snow, maybe some sleet. By sunrise, maybe a few sleet pellets, Interstate 40 north, but we'll be dry. But the second batch of moisture comes in sometime in the middle of the day. Do I think it's going to be heavy? Probably not, but any rain at all in 40-degree air is going to feel pretty miserable. So I would go ahead and plan for having the gloves, the hats, just bring your winter jacket that is going to protect you from both the cold and maybe the moisture. That's what you're looking for. So Gore-Tex is definitely going to be your friend. And just to show you the amounts of rain, it's not very high. Again, some snow and ice possibly in the mountains, but you can see it moving across. It's pretty light. And again, it's not going to be the amounts. It's going to be the fact that it's so cold. So even drizzle or mist in this kind of scenario would definitely be pretty chilly. So the weekend forecast, you can see that upper 40s as we look ahead to your Saturday, 25 in the morning, Sunday, 50% chance of those scattered showers. The 50 is a little deceiving. That's going to be a fleeting moment because once the rain starts, it's probably going to evaporate and cool us down into the 40s. Now we might bounce around, and anytime it rains in that kind of setup, it gets pretty chilly. Now next week, another big system. We've got that cold air damming, or the wedge we call it. That's going to creep up against the mountains. Cold air is heavy, dense, it hugs the ground, so it gets trapped against the mountains. Moisture rides up and over this, falls into it, just like I'm talking about on Sunday, evaporative cooling, makes this air mass even cooler. So next week's system is going to be interesting. The timing is Tuesday right now. Storm track, it's uncertain, but looking wet. I think that's what I'm trying to say there. Impacts, it's going to be cold rains for most of us, but mountain mix is possible. And this is what this system looks like. So this is 11 a.m. on Tuesday morning. That's a lot of moisture. That's wintry weather to the north. Now, could there be ice down into the mountains, maybe close to the Virginia border? That's the one area we'll watch. This is not a snow setup for us at all. This is either a miserable cold rain or a little bit of ice because this is warm over cold. So if you get that scenario, you're never going to get snow. You need cold all the way through to get snow. So this is one of those miserable cold air damming setups where it's just a miserable rain throughout most of the event. And then it moves out and we start to moderate a little bit by the middle and end of next week. Big dip in the jet stream. You can see that now. Here comes that next system on Sunday. Third system next week. It moves out. And then it's a battle. Cold, cold air up there, warm air down there.